And why is Outer Note label like a better platform and fit for you at this stage in your career? A lot of people are going to, you're synonymous with Mellow Music Group.
Ownership. I'll make more money. I'll be able to release records when I want to, not when I have to, and I'll own more, which will allow me to have to sell less to make the same amount of income.
So there was maybe some demand from Mellow Music Group, like, hey, we would really like it if you release an album every 2 years, and even if that doesn't fit in your.
No, no, there was no pressure from Mello Music Group whatsoever. Very, very amazing record label that puts the artist first. Very, very understanding about the creative process and how sometimes it doesn't work on a clock like anything else. There was no issues there. It was just a logical step. If you are an employee and you gain years of experience by being employed by someone, and then you get to the point where you can open up your own business, why would you stay an employee? No, no one would do that. If they did, I wouldn't understand that. For me, logically, as a businessman, it doesn't just doesn't make sense. So for me, it was just the next logical thing to do was to take the years of experience that I had at the inner workings of a label, how distribution and marketing works, how much you have to put into the budget of a record. And when I had come to the point where that amount that you would have to put into a record, I could put in myself, the distribution that it would take to release a record, I could get myself. Why would I give up ownership to something that I can do, especially as my family was growing, and I want to make sure that my children are looked after. I want to work smarter and not harder, logically.
It makes total sense from my POV. I think I bring it up because Apollo Brown told me that he's probably never leaving. Like he likes the position he's in, and what Mellow Music Group did for him at a time in his life. Uh, I guess he's loyalty to that brand. But you, in the entrepreneurial spirit, I get what you're saying, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. There's no one way to do anything, and people have to be very honest with themselves. Just because you have the opportunity to do something, it doesn't mean that you necessarily can, or it doesn't even mean that um, you have the ability to do those things. There are some people who need to be pure artists and not be concerned with the business side of music, right? And that's amazing when you have that ability to be objective about yourself and know, I don't want to be a record label and have to take meetings about pressing and distribution and manufacturing and marketing meetings. And I don't want to have to do all of those things. I want to be in a space where I just create music and I'm willing to give a percentage of that revenue to someone who's going to do a good job on making sure that record is successful. That's a great thing. A lot of people should do that. So many people kind of go into positions of quote unquote becoming their own boss because they think that they're supposed to. And then they end up not being a good boss, but being a better musician. You can see parallels with that in sports. You may be a great player, but you might not be a good coach or a good team owner. Those don't automatically mean the same thing. For me, I was fortunate enough to come from a background and have a career where every step of the way I was a part of. So when it came time to doing all of these things independently, it didn't seem like a task that was over my head or too much for me to handle.